What's going on, everybody? We're back at it again. We got a brand new episode, and this is episode 250-something. Actually, it may not even be 250-something. I think it's like 240-something. But hey, we're back at it. Actually, it may be 250. This might be the 250th episode.
250th episode.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and check, just to make sure that I'm not messing anything up here, man. This is episode 249. This is 249. Okay, the last episode was supposed to be 249, but we got rid of it. We had to scratch it, unfortunately, but that's not what we're here for today. We're here for the brand new episode of Wholehearted Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Barson, or Carson Barson, and I got my boy Napkins in the house, and we're going to show you how it's done. We're going to be giving some dating advice. So I hope that you enjoy this, and I hope that you take some value in this as well. Excuse the paint on my shirt and my raggedy-ass clothes and shit. I just don't give a fuck. So
Excuse the bruises on your elbow.
And the bruises on my elbow and shit, man. I'm just all tore up,
Shout out to Skylar.
Yeah, fuck it, bruh. So we got some dating advice. We got some questions from people on Reddit. They asked a bunch of questions. Everybody on Reddit be asking dumbass questions. And you know what the worst part is about Reddit? Is not only do they ask dumbass questions, but there's some dumbass people on there that be giving dumbass answers.
Can't have it.
Excuse my language. So we're going to fix that.
You ready?
We're going to give some actual real good ass advice. And I'm ready. Here we go.
All right. First up. This guy asked, should I go on a second date? Went on a first date with a guy recently. So this is a girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is a girl. This is from a girl's. I think this is the only one with a girl.
Okay. He was super nice, respective, fun to talk to, no red flags. He spent a lot on dinner, then took me to a cocktail bar after, and even paid for an Uber back home for me. We had a few drinks, went back to his place, and ended up making out. Honestly, I'm not even sure I wanted to. I kind of just went along with it. Now I'm stuck. I don't know if I'm actually attracted to him. Part of me feels guilty saying no to a second date because he was so kind and generous. But I also don't want to lead him on, and I'm worried he'll expect things to go further next time since we already made out. Would you give it another shot to see if the attraction grows, or just be upfront and say no?
Okay. Well, first of all, where the guy fucked up, I'm going to say where the guy fucked up. So first of all, where the guy fucked up, took her out to a really expensive date.
Right.
Red fucking flag. She said that she didn't see any red flags. That's a red flag right off the bat, man. I'm not taking any girl on a first date super fucking expensive unless I feel like that I really know the girl. And we already know, like, we already fuck with each other. That's the only exception to maybe going, or maybe it's a place that I genuinely like and I want to go to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not anywhere stupid expensive. That's like somewhere's like, say maybe Texas fucking Roadhouse. You know what I'm saying? Let's just use that for an example. Just an example. Because I like Texas Roadhouse. I love Texas Roadhouse.
I love Texas Roadhouse.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I wouldn't mind if she suggests Texas Roadhouse, and usually I don't go with the suggestions because it's usually not what I want to do, you know, because I'm going to limit how much I spend on first dates. For like the first couple dates, like maybe picnic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to go on a walk. Maybe we're going to go to a park. You know, we're not going to go to we're not going to do expensive shit because I don't know if I like you yet.
Right.
And honestly, you probably don't even know if you like me yet either. You know, we got to chop it up. We got to figure it out. That's what you go on dates for. You got to figure that shit out before you make the long-term investment. So where this guy fucked up is he took this bitch out on a stupid expensive date. And what else did they say that they did? Ordered her Uber too?
Yeah, Uber back home. They did cocktails, and they just made out.
Wow. Okay, well, you did that just to get some lips, bruh. And you know what? She's over here. She doesn't even like you, bruh. She doesn't even know if she likes you yet. She's still contemplating it, and he's already like betting all of his money. It's like he's going to the casino and betting all of his money right here.
And here's the part that I'm confused on. She she knows whether she's attracted to him before the date.
Yeah.
You know?
She's got at least a little bit of attraction for him, you know? But she's still, like, on the edge. And, you know, I guess we're supposed to be giving advice to her, but I'm still giving advice from the dude's perspective, too, because I think that that's important as well.
This is a common mistake, too.
Common mistake between both of them.
Is that people feel like if I give a good first date, then, you know, the second date will be just a knock in the park. Absolutely going to get the second date. But that first date, all that first date is really supposed to be is just getting to know each other. Yeah,
and I mean, she feels like she's obligated to do something just because he like spent all this money and shit. And I mean, I think that's an all right way to look at it, you know, because she can see that he has invested time and money into her. And so, like, she's like, oh, okay, well, he's investing time and money into me. So then, you know, maybe I'll give him more of a chance to see how it goes, to see if I still really like him. And that's understandable. But, you know, to minimize that from the guy's perspective, he should definitely not have spent that much money, or he should have just kept it low,
because this puts her on the spot now.
It puts, well, and not even that, yeah, a little bit, but no, not really, you know.
So this wouldn't fall in under.
I think that this is probably his fault.
Yeah, when we talk about, you know, doing things for favors.
Yeah, and like he's putting all this money into her, expecting something out of it. Of course, you know what I'm saying, and maybe he genuinely likes her. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like if he had a little bit more boundaries, that it would show he has a little bit more self-respect? Like, if he, you know, not that you can't go out of your way for somebody that you're dating, absolutely do that. Like, there's no excuse for you to not take care of that person throughout the night and stuff like that, for sure. But, like, if it's one of those things where you're pulling out all the stops, he's getting her an Uber and things like that, it's just kind of like, to what extent?
Yeah, and you know, like, she shouldn't feel like she's obligated to do anything, first of all. I mean, and maybe, you know, if she doesn't fuck with him, maybe you should let him know. Like, don't go out on any more dates. You know what I'm saying? Just let him know, like, hey, I had a really good time, but I don't think that this is gonna work. You know, just something like that. Or, you know, do what most bitches do nowadays, just fucking ghost them. But I don't suggest that. I do not suggest that. I would say maybe just give it one more round. But at the same time, I maybe suggest to him, so that bro's not spending all of his fucking money, if you're that concerned about it. Because, you know, she got a free meal out of it.
She could, know? If she wants to get another shot, she could say, you know, this second date, let's do what we should have done in the first place and go to a park.
Yeah, like she should suggest like going to a park or some shit. Like, hey, let's go to a park. Let's just chop it up. Let's see how shit goes. Like,
dial back the expectations a little bit.
Dial it back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so heavy hitting.
But in my experience, you know if you're attracted to somebody. If you spend a whole first date with somebody and then you're trying to see if attraction grows, it's probably not.
Probably not. Well, I mean, and at the same time, I feel like girls and guys fall in love differently. You know, I think that guys, for the most part, can engage their emotions firsthand, like immediately. They can engage with their emotions immediately. With the girls, I feel like it takes a little bit of time. You know, it takes more time for a girl to fall in love with a guy than it does for a guy to fall in love with a girl.
Yeah, I read that study. It said that, you know, men are more common to fall in love quicker.
For sure. You know, they have the ability to engage their emotions immediately. Whereas girls, whenever it comes to a person, it takes like over time, just so that they know. It's like a biological thing, you know, just for like survival and shit. Because they have to know over time, because some of these guys could be putting on a front, you know? Like, it's like for a survival thing. Like, could be putting on a front, and they could be a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's happened so many times throughout human history. And, you know, these girls finally figured it out. It's like implanted in their brain, like, I'm going to give this a little bit of time, like, and they're just, with the way that their brains work, they're just going to fall in love over time, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's
maybe,
a lot more natural too.
Yeah, and it's a lot more natural.
Or
just like,
I should say more healthy.
Yeah, more healthy. Yeah. Definitely don't like be falling in love first off. And that goes for guys too. Even though you can engage your emotions, you know, firsthand and, you know, immediately, you shouldn't be doing that shit, man. You should see if you really like the girl, because maybe you don't like the girl. Maybe it's just your emotions fucking with you. Maybe you're just needy, bruh. But we don't know.
I find that maybe a lot of these might have that same diagnosis. That
absolutely, if they're posting on Reddit, bro,
there's some needy, some insecurity, some anxiety going on.
I feel like if you're posting on Reddit, you just don't have any friends to talk to about the shit. So, and you know, it's good. It's good that people like are actually seeking advice, but I think that it's also bad on Reddit that these people are giving shitty advice.
Yeah, you can't take advice from anybody.
Yeah, except for us.
All right, let's move on. We got the next one.
Yep.
So this fella, he says he's feeling pretty insecure due to his height as a male. He is 5'6".
Okay.
He says, I have been working out for the last 3 years. This year has been challenging to be as consistent because of horrible personal issues that's happened to my family, like awful. Still look like I work out for sure, but more bulked than lean. I just feel bad because a lot of girls that I like seem like taller, slim guys who most of the time don't look that handsome, just tall. Can a girl still be attracted to me? I have big arms and a good chest, more bulky than lean now, but better body than most guys, in my opinion. Any advice is welcomed. Is personality more valued than looks?
Personality 100% is more valued than looks. But I will say that, you know, it's easier if you look better. I mean, genuinely, it's easier if you look better, but that doesn't really matter. You can only control what you can control. The other things, you gotta let go. Like your height, you can't make yourself taller, bro.
Yeah, if you can't change it, then you can't worry about it.
Yeah, you can put on some boots or whatever if you're that worried about it. But even then, whenever you take off the boots, you're still the same height either way.
Right.
So I don't think that it's something that you should worry about because it's not in your control. Don't be insecure about shit that you cannot control.
And I mean, like, it is one of those things where, like, have you ever heard like people say that, oh, I have a personality, I had to be funny in school because I wasn't attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, think about Kevin Hart. The dude is like 5'4".
He still pulls.
He pulls hard, but it's one of those things where he plays to his strengths.
Yes,
he's able
absolutely. He's fucking funny.
Yeah, and I think that more than anything, it is number one, if you are humorous,
yeah,
and you can make them laugh, and number two, if you smell good.
Smelling good, yeah.
And he clearly says he works out.
Yeah, he doubled down on that. And see, I think that he doubled down on that. And I think that that's a little bit of a worry, too, because that's like what he's only focusing on. It doesn't sound like he's been focusing on any of his social skills.
Nope.
Like, it doesn't sound like that he's been, you know, you're posting on Reddit, bro. You're not, you know, you're not having a good time with your friends. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds like you're just focusing on going to the gym and shit. So what are you going to do whenever you start talking to a girl? Like, what if you find a girl and a girl actually finds you attractive and shit? And, you know, so what? You're short. If you're fucking funny or, like, you got a good personality, a lot of times they're not really going to give a fuck about that. Like, that's the initial thing that they see, you know? Like, even with tall guys. I know a lot of tall guys that don't got game that can't get none. You know, and I know a lot of short dudes that got game and can get some. You know what I'm saying? So you got to play, like what you said, you got to play on your powers, you know. You got to play on what you got.
Yeah, and this is something I was talking about today too is with it when it comes to insecurities, I'm finding that if you're insecure about something within yourself cuz you're a person and you're judging yourself on this thing that is trivial, chances are you're also, you know, it goes around. Like, you can't be insecure about your physical appearance without also judging other people on theirs too. So I feel like if this guy maybe was able to deduce that a little bit and be like, you know what, I don't really care about the way that other people look in that way. I'm not superficial and I'm not shallow. So why am I doing it to myself? Why why is there, rules for thee but not for me kind of deal.
Yeah.
So if you're giving other people grace, then you need to learn to do that for yourself.
Yeah, and I've for like a real life example, I knew this one guy, like he was an older fella. He was slick looking, but he was shorter. He was shorter than me, and I'm average. I'm 5'10". I think that we're both 5'10" or whatever, 5'11" maybe on a good day with some boots and shit. We like to round up and shit like that. Like you said that you're probably 5'6" in this. You're probably 5'5", but you're probably rounding up. But hey, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? With the real life example that I'm talking about, whenever I used to work at this restaurant, back whenever I was like 19, I used to see this guy. He was dressed real clean. He always dressed real clean. He's looking nice, but he brought in a girl every single time that was taller than him. I seen him with multiple different girls, and this was like an older gentleman, probably about in his 40s, and it's not even that old, but it's just older than me whenever I say that. And he would bring in girls that were, I would say, in their 30s, early 30s. And they were smoking, bruh, and they were all taller than him. So the dude was probably 5'5", 5'6". Mm-hmm. All the girls that he brought in were probably my height, your height, maybe a little bit shorter, but it's still taller than him, and they were all fucking dimes, bruh. So don't believe that bullshit of like you have to just be tall. It's something that helps, but everybody's got genetics that help with anything. You know what I'm saying? You got to play to what you got, bruh.
Yeah, and honestly,
stop being insecure.
Honestly, if that's how, a little bit of the demographic you're going after, if that's what they care about more than anything, then that's probably not the demographic that you need to seek out.
For sure.
If you're talking to girls and that's what they primarily look for, because it is a little bit of a fad to have the 6-pack, 6 foot, 6 figures. If that's what they're looking for,
yeah,
then you need to be like, that's superficial, and I don't want somebody that's going to be that way.
I don't think that it's a complete fad. I mean, I think that it's something that girls still look for. Like right. that it's still something that they still want, and if they can land that, then they're gonna try to get that.
But a preference is almost never like a perimeter.
Yeah.
See, like my preference could be something like a redhead, but I met somebody a couple of months ago that was absolutely not like somebody that I would be like, oh, this person is super duper attractive. But then once I got to talk to him after like 30 minutes or an hour, us hanging out together with them at a place, I was like, oh, wow, their personality has just sucked me in completely.
Yeah.
And now that I'm like looking at them through this lens.
You don't even care about the hair color.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. All like your hairstyle, your clothing style, now all that, because it's a genuine part of that person expressing themselves. Now I like that.
Yeah.
Where before I wouldn't.
You got to focus on yourself, bro.
For sure.
You can't be focusing. It sounds like you're going to be thinking more about your height than the girls probably are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get your game together, get your mind right, and you got the gains. So, don't be obsessed with the gym. Don't be a gym rat, because that's what it kind of sounds like you are. Sounds like you're a gym rat, and like, what are you going to talk about besides the gym? You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that shit. That can't just be your person. Your personality can't just be the fucking gym.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about comic books, one of the biggest male hoes in comics is Wolverine. He's like 5'3".
That's what I'm saying.
He
bro.
pulls consistently.
That's what I'm saying. I know short dudes that pull, bro.
You gotta pull. All right. So we got this next one. It says here, I can't get over her. What do I do? A girl that I had deep feelings for, and she allegedly had for me, slept with her best friend a few days ago. We were supposed to go on a date soon, and I learned about this recently. I feel heartbroken. She was the one for me. I hoped. I never felt anything like this before, and all the time and energy we shared is meaningless. I'm so upset to wish my luck with women hasn't been the best, and I feel like I'm back to square one again. What do I do? I'm in so much pain thinking about that she went for another behind my back. Thanks.
Does it say how long they were fucking with each other?
It does not. This tells me that they...
bro, god dang, man. Bro's got a good glimpse of one-itis. He's got a bad case of one-itis. You thought that you got the one. That's one-itis. Whenever you think that you got the one, you got one-itis. Because there ain't no such thing as the one. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Shit's not true. It's fake belief, fable, fairy tale. That's what that shit is. One-itis is not a fucking thing. Actually, one-itis is a thing. But the one is not a fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to make the one.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like, you know, someone is as valuable to you as you make them. And
exactly.
In that sense, you know, people can be married for 50 years and only be with each other and love each other, and then one person, you know, they sadly pass away. That other person, they may move on, and you know, and then they'll say, you know, that's their one for them right then, right now. You know, that doesn't mean that what your feelings had was wrong.
Yeah,
it just means that as people, we're able to heal and do different things.
For sure.
This guy definitely had, you know, expectations kill. So he had projected expectations on the situation.
He had projected expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, don't do that shit. Do not project your expectations onto somebody else.
Yeah.
That's what you thought. I feel like they probably wasn't even in a relationship.
It says we were supposed to go on a date soon. So this makes me think they didn't even get to a single date.
It doesn't specify how many dates that they went on, but bruh, come on, man. Like, dude, you probably thought that this was your girl, even though that y'all wasn't even official. That's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming that y'all was not even official, and then you just assumed that was your girl. It's not your girl, it's just your turn. And listen, that guy right there is always going to fucking be insecure all the time, because a person like this is going to be always insecure all the time because he's constantly thinking like what the other person's going to do and shit. And I feel like maybe it was probably him that pushed the girl away.
Maybe
or she's a whore. That's a possibility too.
But here's another thing that we've talked about before, is that if you're interested with somebody, like from maybe this girl's perspective, or we do it, you know, ourselves too, but it's like, if you're interested and you have a date coming up and you have that opportunity, you know, that quick fling with a best friend or something like that, you don't want it anymore. Like,
yeah.
Like I remember those times where like I met somebody and I was vibing with them really well, and we had like a date a week later. That's all I was so excited for that. And anything that had come up before then, it was just, you know, it was like bouncing off of me. I couldn't think of anything but this person. But if she was able to, you know, like you've had past relationships where they wanted to get back together with you, but while they're waiting for you to make your decision to get back together, they're dating around in the meantime. If somebody truly couldn't get you out of their mind, and they had those same feelings that you hope to reciprocate, they wouldn't be able to do that. They couldn't force themselves to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like me, I'm not gonna lie, like, if I'm fucking with a girl, right, and we're dating for a little bit, like, I'm still gonna be dating other girls if I'm dating. Like, right now, I'm not dating. Like, I'm not, you know, in the dating scene right now. Don't have time for it. I'm gonna be, if I'm dating other, like, different girls to see how it goes, and just to see, because, like, it's like a funnel. You know what I'm saying? It's like a big ass funnel. So like you're going to get a bunch of different prospects, and then you're going to, you know, maybe go out on a couple of dates here and there, and maybe there might be some times where I'm dating one girl and I'm dating another girl. But it's all going to funnel down, you know, and eventually if I'm messing with a girl for long enough, she's going to bring it up, and she's going to be like, you know, because I want it to be on her terms. I want the relationship part to be on her terms. So if she wants a relationship, she's going to bring it up to me, and she's going to say, like, where is this going? Like, what do you want? And, you know, I'm going to be like, well, I'm dating because I'm looking for a girlfriend, you know, maybe long term, you know, maybe not. Let's just see where it goes and shit. And if she tells me that she doesn't want me, you know, messing around with anybody else, and I like her enough to accept that, then I'm going to be like, okay, I won't be messing around with nobody else. Then I'll stop dating everybody else. But in the meantime, how I like to do it is I like to date other girls while I'm dating other girls.
Yeah, until you're exclusive, you're not exclusive.
Yep, and the
you
girls
you can't have that expectation.
and
for
see, the
somebody
thing
else
is
that
that
they're
the
not.
girls are going to be doing the same thing. And especially in today's culture, the girls are going to be doing the same thing. So unless she brings up the conversation with you and she wants to be exclusive with you, you're never going to bring that up because that's going to also lose attraction for you. So like if you are going to bring that up because that makes that, you know, it's like a needy part. Because if you're bringing up a relationship and want to lock a girl down, that just kind of shows it just kind of shows a little bit that you're needy, you know, and that you don't want her messing around with anybody else because you're not secure in yourself to be comfortable with, you know, with her being able to just be free. You you got to love in a way that the other person feels free.
Yeah, that's very mature. I like that.
For sure. And if the other person doesn't feel free and it feels like that they're locked in and then they're not going to be able to do anything, because that's the second that you lose a girl is like that you are really interested in, most of the time is the second that you try to lock them down and try to make them lose their freedom.
Yeah, and I mean, you remember what Uncle Benji used to tell us all the time is that, you know, and I've done this ever since, and it's never failed ever for me, is that he would tell us that, you know, if you're interested in somebody, first, you know, one of the first things you do when it's kind of getting to that point, bring them around in like a group setting and hang out with the boys, especially with the boys, and let them do whatever they want to do. Let them go and talk around. And you can kind of just see where that's going to go. And every single time, without fail, I don't have to tell this girl, or I don't have to tell my boys, like, oh, don't talk to her, or oh, don't get interested in my friends.
You shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to. And if she does do that, that's totally fine. If that's what she wants to do, it just doesn't seem like you're compatible, and you can move on to whatever comes
Doesn't
next.
seem like she's relationship material if she's going to be fucking with my boys.
Right. And it's one of those things where if you don't have to tell, and she comes around and she already is like, well, I'm just interested in somebody right now. I can't really get them out of my mind. I'm really kind of wanting to invest in that. Mm-hmm. And she does that without, you know, you needing to do that for her. Then that's a good situation. That's probably what this guy's looking for. This guy found out, you know, he just didn't prepare himself for like that possibility.
Yeah, and I think that like I said, I'm basing this off of the information, and I'm guessing, I'm assuming that they're not in a relationship. Like they would say, he was talking about dates and shit, and he didn't say that they was in a relationship. So I'm assuming that they didn't go that far. So what I'm thinking is that he was just wanting a relationship, and she maybe was not looking for a relationship, A, or B, she was maybe considering a relationship, and then maybe she was fucking with this other guy, and then maybe she's, you know, trying to see which one she likes more. And if you're going to be needy about it and insecure about it, then, you know, she's definitely not going to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I'm not saying like act like you don't care, but I'm saying to not fucking care. You know, you don't have to act like you don't care if you don't fucking care.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he shouldn't care about something that it doesn't feel like he's missing out on.
Yeah, and if she really fuck with you, she wouldn't have gone fuck with that other dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So we got this next one. It says feeling needy. So I've been on 2 dates with a girl. It's going well, and I think we've agreed on the third date. But I need advice on how to not basically crave her attention and worry so much. I'm guessing the real advice is to just keep busy and have hobbies. Also, I worry I look needy bad if she doesn't reply for 2 hours, as people obviously get busy. Then I reply within 5 minutes. Maybe I'm just getting inside my head too, but I hate playing the stupid waiting games of purposefully not replying to messages.
Well, bro, you know, there's one or two options here. She's either A, actually really busy, probably not the case, or B, she's actually purposefully not replying fast. It is a game. You know what I'm saying? It is a game. And she's testing you to see if you are insecure. She's testing, see what you're made of, bro.
Do you think this is intentional?
100%. Or maybe she don't even fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? But if she does fuck with him, she'll hit you up. She'll hit you back up, bruh. Like, you don't have to be sitting there waiting around on your fucking phone. It sounds like you don't have anything else better to do. It sounds like that you're basing your whole existence and you're revolving your whole entire world around this girl. It's like this girl is your fucking solar system, bruh. And, like, you're not even in a relationship with the girl, man. You know, so yeah, you should feel needy. You fucking are needy. I mean, god dang, bro. Like, definitely, yeah, keep yourself busy, but don't just keep yourself busy. I think that it's more of a framework than anything. It's not like you do this, you do A, X, Y, and Z, and then you get, you know, you get Y or fucking whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck the equation is. It's not an equation, man. It's like a lifestyle. That's what I think.
You described to me a couple of months ago is that when it comes to like this part of the dating, you had told me that you keep messaging and phone calls and stuff like that over the phone pretty minimal because you want to keep those meaningful interactions when you do see each other in person. Like the texting and the calls is primarily to, you know, like to set up the next date.
That's what phones were made for.
Right.
That's literally what phones were invented for, to make events or make dates for meeting a person in person. That's what it's for. If you want to talk to me over text, go fucking talk to ChatGPT. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're trying to set something up for us to meet in person, I'm not trying to text over the phone. I'm not trying to talk on the phone. I don't have time for that shit. If I'm going to be interacting with somebody, I want to give them my undivided attention and 100% of my time and energy in that moment.
Right.
Because if I'm going to be doing other shit, then like, if you text me, I might not see that till a while later because I'm a busy person. So I might not see that till a while later. And, you know, I got other shit going on. So if you're on a phone call with me and I'm doing other shit, I'm not going to be giving you my full attention. I would much rather you be here in person so that I can give you my full attention. And we can set a time and date in the future to where I can do that.
And I also like where he said that he feels bad that they don't respond for hours at a time and he responds within minutes. I don't think that this is something you need to be ashamed of. It's who you are as a person. You are quick to respond to messages. Now, if you're over here and you're like double, triple texting and you're, you know, they're leaving it open or delivered and you're geeking and tweaking, that's probably not a good thing. But don't change who you are. If you're somebody that likes to get back into contact with somebody consistently,
yeah, then
that's who you are.
I like
don't
that.
Apologize for that, but also don't hold the expectation that they're going to do it too.
I like that too, and I do and I don't at the same time like the concept of purposefully, you know, delaying a message. You know, the reason that I don't like it is because, like you said, you know, you're changing how you interact with people. You know, you're changing how you do things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to elicit some sort of response. I don't like that. But at the same time, you know, a part of, you know, dating and, you know, intersexual dynamics and keeping it alive is like mystery and time away.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't kill the imagination. The best part about the dating process and, you know, is like kind of getting your anxiety up a little bit, you know, like what's this person, the anticipation, like it's the imagination of it. Like, what's this person doing? Like, you know, like what's going on with them? Like they haven't hit me back up in a while. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just sitting here thinking about what I'm going to say for the next fucking 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe you might hit me up and make like you want to fucking hang out, you know what I'm saying, within that time of waiting, because you don't want me to like wait to respond to you. Because at the same time, like me, I don't prioritize my text messages or like my phone calls or like shit like that. Like here lately, I've been having my phone on do not disturb. So like I have not been prioritizing my messages. I've just been focusing and being in the moment and doing whatever I'm doing in that moment. You know, so I think that it's also a lifestyle thing. It's not because, like what you said, you know, you shouldn't change who you are. But I think that you should change who you are in the sense of, like, not making your whole world revolve around another person.
Right.
You know, especially if it's, you know, especially if it's somebody you don't even fucking know. You know, like,
at the end of the day,
like at the end of the day gonna end, bruh. So, like, you're gonna have to get your shit together, bro. Stop being needy. And yeah, you should be focusing on the shit that you got in hand. You know what I'm saying? You should have hobbies, and you should be doing shit that is actually important to you.
yeah, not hobbies just to like crave attention or to seem interesting.
Exactly.
You should have things that you do
genuinely are interested
that
in.
you want to do, and
for sure,
that's going to go a lot further too. And I think that the people you date are going to see that as well. And there is a lot of strength in that self-respect and that self-empowerment of, like, yeah, you don't have to feel bad about messaging immediately, but also if they don't reply to you, or they leave you undelivered or unread or something like that, not responding, like having that double text or something like that, like, are you okay, or calling that second time even though that they've left you unopened,
like you're not going to worry about that.
You know, if you do that a couple times and you're just like, oh, this is their problem, they didn't get back to me, so they can now miss out on what.
It's like tennis, dude.
Yeah, they didn't serve back. That is their, you know, you won. In tennis, you won the point if they didn't serve it back.
Yeah, you hit the ball in their court, and then you wait for them to hit it back. And if they don't hit it back, you know where the fuck you stand. The tennis game is over.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I say you give one chance per person. I've thought about this recently, and I've heard this from an old, like, this was an old source of, like, an old dating coach. Doc Love, that's his name. He's an old dating coach, like, probably back in the 90s.
Wow.
Shit that still works to this day. Bro said, bro gave the advice of give one chance per person.
What does that mean?
That means that you give them one chance to, you know, to flake or to, you know, bail out. And then if they do that, you don't pursue anymore.
Do you think the reason why that's important is because it reflects their communication skills, which will, even if you do pursue and it somehow works out into a relationship, this is like a microclimate of what they are going to be like in a relationship, where they're not going to be able to communicate their thoughts and feelings on a precise manner.
And there's so many different people in the world. Like, you know, there is billions of people in the world, man. And let's just say it's 50-50. What is the population of the fucking world right now? What is the population of America? Let's just say America.
I don't know. I think it's like 300 million.
400 million or some shit. Let's just say 400 million. That's 200 million.
And there's 8 billion people on the planet.
Let's just say that's 400 million in the United States. So there's 200 million guys and 200 million girls. Even though I think that there's even more girls now. Maybe wrong on that. But there's 200 million girls in your country. Like, bro, there's way too many girls to be stressing about just this one girl. That goes back to the one-itis guy. Bro's got one-itis. For fucking what? There's better girls out there, bro. You haven't found them yet. Maybe you got to get more social, man.
Hell yeah. So we got this next one.
Let's get to the next one. Hell yeah.
All right. It says, being a nice guy and doing the right thing backfired. I started the weekend in early stages of dating 2 wonderful women. By the end, I had 0. I'd been on a couple dates with both of them and decided I don't want to date multiple people at the same time. It doesn't feel right. So turned down the one that I had less communication with to focus on the other. The same day, the other girl gave me, I don't see it going any further message. Pretty gutted, to be honest. They were both great women, and I was confident that one of them would have turn into something serious. Now back to 0. Dating is rough sometimes.
Yeah, and that's why I said, like a couple ones ago, that's why I said that whenever I'm dating, I date multiple girls. I do. I date multiple girls at a time, and some girls don't like that. And then, you know, I'm to the point. It is what it is. And, you know, if you want exclusivity from me, then I think that you got to work for it. I think you got to work for it.
I don't necessarily agree or disagree with that feeling. I know that for me, I think this is a thing of compatibility. Like,
you got to earn it.
I think for me, I am a one person at a time. You know, if that one doesn't work out, I'm not going to get too hung up. I'm going to move on. Like, this, but this whole two at one time, this multiple at one time, that does, for me, it does distract me from the potential of the one. Like, I'm not giving my full heart and attention and effort to that.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I think this is just a compatibility error. But what I see here when he's talking about, you know, he did to one girl that the other girl did to him.
Yeah.
And now he's upset about it. But but the thing is, man, it looks like, you know, that they don't seem to be compatible with you either. Dating is just this roulette of compatibility. Sometimes there's right and there's wrong, but there, at the end of the day, this is a part of your emotional journey, and you gauge differently. You know, it's Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, where he's standing in front of the knight and he has to pick the chalice that Jesus drank from to get, you know, whatever. And you chose poorly, man. You cut the one off that you said that you could have went further in favor for this other one, and then she did the same to you. So in retrospect, maybe you should have given a little bit more consideration to what you were thinking and doing. Clearly, you don't have a understanding of a potential partner. You don't have an understanding of that compatibility yet, and this is just a part of your emotional journey. Like, I would advise in the future, when you're dating, is to, you know, kind of not try to make you're trying to fill a role. Yeah. It's like a job interview, and you're interviewing multiple candidates. Yep. That's not what it's supposed to be like.
That's the way I view it as. Well, and you know, it is different from everybody in this. I have noticed that, after, you know, just seeing in person and just like consuming so much information about, say, this topic, there is different people that go about it differently. And, you know, there is some points where if I'm dating, and say that I'm dating two girls at one time, you know, and this isn't like deep into dates. Like, this isn't like this is like maybe 3 dates in, maybe on each one, you know, maybe 1 date on one, maybe 2 dates on the other, you know, say it's just very surface level, very beginning dating. So if I'm doing that, you know, and this situation happened to me, I'm going to prioritize the girl that has prioritized me more. And that's to be fair to the one that I like the most. So if I like the one girl more than the other, and she has prioritized me more than the other one, I'm going to be more lenient to her because she has made more investment into me than the other girl. So then I'm going to be more apt to picking the girl that is more, you know, that is more apt to picking me, you know, because I'm not going to be continuously dating them if I don't like them, you know, and maybe I do, just to see if I do like them after a while, you know, like we was talking about with the one girl in the very beginning. But because, you know, after a while, sometimes people do grow on you. Yeah. You know, like I've dated girls that I didn't like to begin with, and I'm like, you know, she's attractive and I do somewhat like her. You know, I don't fully like her. Let's give her a chance. And then after a while, I start to really get to know her, and then I start to actually like how she is. So then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm vibing with this. And then after a while, you start to fall in love. And you both fall in love with each other. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because you gave them that chance, then you start to, you know.
You're not quick to judge.
The feelings start to grow. I'm not quick to judge, but I'm quick to hire. It takes time for me to hire, but I'm quick to fire. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't, I'm not quick to judge, but, I am picky.
The way I feel with it is that, in my experience, the job title doesn't exist until the person exists. So, like, I'm complete in doing, when it comes to life and living in relationships with yourself and like love and stuff, that is 100% complete for me. And then, if someone comes along and then they fit that role will immaculately open up for that person. And when they go away, that's just not like an empty role. That's all of a sudden is like this void that needs to be filled. I need to go ahead and get somebody in here for, like, I'm desperate for a relationship.
Well, if I'm dating, I feel like I'm dating with a purpose.
It's true.
Like if I'm dating to fill the role of my girlfriend, and like I'm just going through the candidates to see if they are a fit to be my girlfriend. Some people you're not going to fuck with. And that's the way that you should look at it, instead of looking at it as, are they going to fuck with me? You should already be fuck withable.
Yeah. And I mean, you got time. You're talking about in a weekend, you went from 2 to 0, but you really shouldn't think of it like that. Like,
no, you shouldn't.
No,
you shouldn't. You should not look at it like that.
Because at the beginning of the day, you had 0, and at the end of the day, you have 0 again. Like you didn't have to.
Yeah, she's not yours. It's just your turn, yet again.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
All right, so we got this next one. It says, sick of dating. I am sick of getting constantly rejected, ghosted, stood up, and disrespected. I've had so many women ghost me, make plans, and just don't show up. I've spent hundreds on women before. There's one girl I cooked for, bought her gifts, bought her meals, and she didn't even want to kiss and even ghosted me. I'm sick of this shit. What did I deserve to get this treatment? I've been nothing but nice and treated them all with respect just to get spat on and kicked like a piece of shit. What the fuck am I doing wrong? Well,
Well, you're being a nice guy, bruh. I think that's what it is. You're being a nice guy and probably a pushover.
And let's be clear between a nice guy and a good guy.
Exactly. Let's be perfectly clear on this. I think that we should be perfectly clear
because
on
people
this.
say nice guy and they immediately think that now you have to be a dick.
Yeah, no, that's not the case at all.
No.
You still need to respect the other person. It is respect. You should have boundaries in the sense of they should respect you and you should expect that respect. But you should also give respect back. That's not saying to be a fucking terrible person. Nice guys always finish last. That's the saying. That's the saying that everybody knows. Nice guys always finish last. And nice guys are typically insecure. There's a book, actually. There's a book that I read. It's called No More Mr. Nice Guy. It's by this guy that is a psychiatrist. And he wrote this book about, no more Mr. Nice Guy. And that's what he's done sit downs with a bunch of different dudes over the course of time, hundreds, if not thousands. And, he's found like the patterns in all of them. And he found that a lot of these nice guys are insecure, and like what we've talked about before is that they're doing things based off of transaction.
Moral dessert.
Moral dessert. And I don't think that in a relationship, I don't think that it's wrong to have transactions within a relationship. Like, you do this and then I do that, and
that's a relationship, not dating.
Yeah. That, in dating, like, you can't just give up your self-respect and all that just to have the person that you think that you want.
And moral dessert, as if we can describe, it's like you should be doing these things because you want to do them without the expectation of something in return.
Exactly.
Like a moral dessert is like saying, I believe in God because I want to go to heaven. Well, that's not, you should, morally you should believe in God regardless if there's a heaven or hell, because that's the right thing to do, because that's what you believe in. Belief shouldn't work on a reward system. Doing things for other people and being kind should not work on a reward system to get something in return. At the end of the day, the day ends.
Yeah.
you're not a nice guy. What you are is you're trying to manipulate, and then it's not working for you.
Yeah, well, that's what he found out in the book No More Mr. Nice Guy, that's what nice guys do. It is a source of it's a form of manipulation.
Right.
They're being nice guys. They're being nice to get what they want, essentially. And it's not doing like what you think that you should do because you think that it's right. It's doing what you like want to do to get something out of it.
Right. And if you can't find yourself showing this same type of kindness to your friends, to random people that you aren't physically attracted to, like if you're not opening doors for, women of all ages and holding out there, if you're not a gentleman in this manner to people that you're not interested in, then what you're doing is your transactional kindness.
Yeah, for sure. And the nice guy is doing things from a point of insecurity. That's what the nice guy is doing. They're doing it because they have some sort of insecurity. And a lot of these nice guys are, a lot of them's like narcissist. They're doing shit just because, like they're doing everything because they want to get something out of it for them.
Right.
And whenever you're dating and shit, I think that you should go into the relationship to give for sure. But I mean, there's also, you have to, if you're giving, then you also have to be open to getting as well, because that's, if the other person's there to give too, then you should be able to accept whatever they're giving you. And, if you're not going into the relationship to give, then you shouldn't be going into the relationship at all. But, in the sense of dating, if you're being a nice guy, that's also being a pushover as well. So, like, if somebody is, like you said, that you're getting spat on and disrespected, well, I think that you're letting that happen. That's the thing. You're letting that happen. That's what nice guys do. They just let that shit happen
Because they think that if they put up with it long enough, then they're gonna
get some pussy.
Yeah, exactly. and like if you're doing these things and it's not being reciprocated in a dating manner or in a relationship manner, then like there is that strength, like we said with being left undelivered earlier. It's like you don't have to consistently put yourself on a chopping block. You can dictate for yourself to say, you know what, this isn't being reciprocated. We're clearly not compatible. It is like what a lot of girls say, if they wanted to, they would.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. And like what you said, like the nice guys are usually like if they are in a situation or in a dating situation where they feel like it's not working out for them, they're going to continue to let it happen over and over again. The things that they don't want to happen, they're going to continue to let it happen because they don't have the balls to fucking like say that this is enough and I'm not allowing this to happen anymore.
Because disrespect is still attention.
Yeah. For sure. And they're getting that attention and then they're like, oh, okay, well, it'll just push over, and then you're going to be a fucking pushover, and then they're not going to respect you. No bitch is going to respect you. There's no girl, I mean, excuse me, not bitch, but it's interchangeable. No girl's going to respect you because you're a fucking pushover, bro. Like, just because you want to do everything for these girls, just because you think that they're pretty or some shit and they didn't deserve it, they're not going to respect you, bro. Like, you're probably that guy at the bar that is buying every pretty girl that you see a drink and wasting all your fucking money on drinks for pretty girls.
He said hundreds. He spent hundreds.
Yeah, so you're probably buying drinks for girls expecting to get something out of it, and they're not going to give you anything out of it. Maybe one day you might get lucky and think, oh, this shit works, because you might get a girl drunk enough to do it. That shit don't work, bro. They're not going to respect you at the end of the day.
Yeah, respect starts at home.
100%. You need to be able to respect yourself for anybody else to respect you.
Yeah, and then once you do that, the right person will appreciate when you do those things.
For sure. And you clearly don't have any self-respect in this, because if you did, then you wouldn't be getting disrespected like this.
What if this is the guy's point of view from the first one?
It may be. It very well may be. Exactly. And like there should be subtle signs in the beginning that, the person doesn't fuck with you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we got this next one. My date bailed after saying she was going to the bathroom. Blocked me. Oh, buddy.
God dang.
I matched with this girl last weekend on Hinge, and after messaging back and forth for a while, I asked her out for some drinks, and she said yes. We met at 6 at her favorite bar that she goes to a lot. Everything was going great, and we were talking about job, family, travel, and everything, and laughing a lot. She even did that thing that girls do sometimes when they laugh and touch your arm. and she gave me her number halfway through the date. We were only messaging on Hinge prior. Anyways, around 10 p.m., we were still there having a good time, and she said she had to go to the bathroom. She got up, walked toward the bathroom on the other side of the bar. After 10 minutes went by, this guy has horrible grammar.
For sure. I just copied and pasted straight from Reddit too.
After 10 minutes went by, I thought something was up, so I texted her, no response. I got up and asked the bartender if he saw her, and he said, yeah, I saw her leave, but she said she texted you. I didn't get any text, and when I checked Hinge, she unmatched and blocked me. What am I missing? Also, since people might assume this, I was trying to be a gentleman and did not mention anything about going home sleeping together.
All right, well, first of all, your first fuck up, you found the girl on Hinge. God damn, I'm so sorry to roast you for this, bro. Bro, you got to get off the dating apps, man. I think dating apps are a scam, and I always say that shit. You know, it may work out for some people, you know what I'm saying, but the exception to the rule is not the rule. I think dating apps are a complete fucking scam. Most of the time, those bitches are on there just for attention. You might be on there to seek something out, actually, genuinely, and those bitches are not on there for that. And the second red flag, that's the first red flag. The second red flag is that she had stated that she wants to go to the bar that she goes to often.
Really?
Okay, she goes to the bar often, man, and there's probably a bunch of different dudes there constantly doing the same thing that you're doing. Buying her shit, buying her drinks and shit, bruh. And you ain't the only one that she's did that to. It sounds like she had this planned out. It sounds like that she's did this several times before. I feel like that there was something in between this happening and the interactions that they had prior to give off, little bits and pieces of this maybe happening in the future.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like that he didn't pick up on it.
The bartender said, yeah, I saw her leave, but she said she texted you. So, like, on her way out, she's told the bartender, like, what she's doing. Like, I don't... What sense does that make? So, either she... Like, they have a closer relationship with the bartender, or...
Yeah.
Bartender's covering for her.
Probably.
Or...
Because she probably knows the bartender.
Or this guy's lying.
Yeah. And then this goes back to the thing of, like, don't take your first dates out to, like, expensive shit. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. But that, and let's not strive away from the accountability of the girl. Because I do that. Like, whenever I'm giving this advice, most of the time it's the guys that are fucking up. Okay? But this time, it is the guy that's fucking up for sure. Like, probably. But it is definitely a shitty thing on the girl's part. Like, if you're a girl, don't be doing this shit.
Yeah, the only reason that this could ever
be doing this shit.
Ever be acceptable is if, like, you just feel unsafe.
Like this, yeah. Maybe she just felt unsafe, maybe. Or she's just a fucking bottom of the barrel ass hoe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that people, if they don't have the mental fortitude to communicate properly and, like, treat you like a normal person, like, I can just block you and leave you here and not tell you anything, that is super wrong and that is super disrespectful. And, on his behalf, he should be thinking, like, man, I dodged a bullet here, because this is clearly somebody that cannot communicate.
For sure.
If they run into an issue, they can't communicate this, like, oh, well, it was nice for us to go out, I just don't think this is going to work. Like, if someone can't, if they're an extremely avoidant person, like, I'm going to avoid issues, and if an issue arises, then I'm just going to check out, then, dude, you don't want that.
You do not want that. You did dodge a bullet for sure, but I think that there's different things that you could have did to prevent this to begin with. I'm all for prevention, and I really feel like you met her on Hinge, okay? You know what I'm saying? And you took her out to a bar that's probably not cheap. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it is, maybe it ain't, but you wasted time, you wasted money. And, you went out. This is why it's always good to just go out on a park for your first date. That's what I think. Or go out and do something that's free for your first date, just to see if you even jive with the person. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not, opposed to putting up an investment to begin with, like taking them out. I'm not completely opposed to that, but that's like if you like really somewhat know them beforehand. Like if you know them or know of them and know that they ain't gonna do no shit like this. Like if you're meeting somebody on a dating app, which I do not recommend, you might have this happen to you.
Yeah.
You might have this shit happen to you because you're meeting it with a person that you have no idea what the fuck that they're gonna do. They are a stranger,
stranger danger.
Stranger danger. Your mama taught you whenever you was a kid not to be getting into cars with strangers. So why would you be going out to a bar with a stranger? You know what I'm saying? That's the way that I kind of look at it. Maybe get to know the person a little bit before you get to know them.
And also, he said that they were there for 4 hours.
4 hours.
They got there at 6, and then around 10 p.m. still having a good time. So
that's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time. And normally, what I feel like with first dates, it's like short and sweet.
Short and sweet for sure.
And like that's something that Jarrell would always tell us is that like, especially like at functions or around, you want to be the first one to leave. You don't want to over-welcome your stay. It's kind of like, this is a first impression. This is a first introduction. If you don't have intentions for this to continue out through the night, he says he never brought it up. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where like maybe an hour or two, you just don't over-welcome your stay. And then you say, like this was really fun. Like, I have to go. If you're the one that proposes to leave, that's going to reflect a little bit better because, there's a sense of mystery to it.
For sure.
There's a sense of anticipation to it.
Yeah, most definitely. And, y'all both fucked up.
Yeah.
She definitely fucked up more because that was rude and disrespectful. She shouldn't have did that. She should not have bailed on you. But, you got to get off Hinge, bruh.
Yeah, got to get off the dating apps.
Got to get off that shit. Is there any more?
Yeah, there's one more.
Okay, there's one more. Let's do this shit.
Girl I'm dating randomly disappeared.
Okay.
There's this girl I met about a week and a half ago, and we've gone on 2 dates so far, and both went really well. But after the second date on Friday afternoon, I texted her letting her know I had a great time, and she never responded until Saturday afternoon. She apologized for the late response and said that she was at a family birthday party, which I responded letting her know there was no worries, and I hope she was having a good time, but that's the last I've heard of her. It's Tuesday now, and she hasn't opened my response, and her Snapchat activity status indicates that she hasn't been online for over 24 hours, and it's been that way since Sunday. On the second date, she told me she was having a great time, and the next time we could continue watching the show we started, so I'm mostly just confused. I was wondering if anyone has had an experience like this and how it went. I assume she's busy with college or family issues, but last week we texted back and forth and even called one day, so I'm just confused about this random shift.
Yeah, bro. This goes back to the other guy that's fucking needy. Yeah, you're being needy, bro.
The other five,
10, all these guys, man, being needy and shit, man. You're basing your whole world around this girl, man.
And to be clear, we're not shaming you. This is an understandable feeling.
It's an understandable crash out, bro.
Yeah, this is understandable because, like...
It is understandable.
You put your heart on your sleeve, and you're excited, and you had a good time with somebody, and you do want to keep going, and this is just rejection. But at the same time, man, this is okay.
But it is okay because, it's probably not rejection. Because she went out on 2 dates with you, so she probably fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? So now all you got to do is just lean back, chill, wait for her to hit you up, and then whenever she hits you up, you can set up the date for the next time for y'all to hang out. And, it seems like that you're wanting a texting buddy here, and you did hit her up, and she did take a while to respond, but like we talked about before, she probably did that on purpose. She probably waited a while for her to respond. She might She was busy. Maybe she.
Yeah, well,
was.
I mean, if he's the type of guy that's going to look at her activity on Snapchat, you're probably really smothering her.
Yes,
and she needs a she needs a break. She needs
probably the type of guy that's like looking at her snap score and shit too.
See if it goes up.
Oh
my God,
bro, you gotta quit doing that shit, man. You have got to quit doing that shit.
You are giving yourself more anxiety than what you're already gonna have when it comes to that.
100%. No go, bro.
Cannot.
Yep, you cannot do this shit, man. This is needy and it's insecure.
Yeah, if you keep responses like in like a short, sweet kind of thing, like you're not smothering somebody constantly. You said you're texting back and forth. That may have been her overextending her comfortability, and now she's overcorrecting. She's actively not responding to you, and it feels like she's ghosting you because you're just smothered the shit out of her.
Yeah, it feels like she ghosted you because, maybe you was getting consistent text and, replies back and forth there for a little bit, and then she gives it a little bit of time. Maybe she's just giving a little bit of time to see if she misses you. Maybe that's what it is.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Exactly. Maybe she's just giving it a little bit of distance. Maybe she feels like she's smothered a little bit, so she's like, okay, I'm going to take a step back just to see what you do, just to see if you're needy. And it's proven that you are needy, bro.
The way you deal with attraction is very attractive. So, like, I can't tell you how many dates are from meeting somebody, and then it could be 6 months. I mean, one was a year later. Meet somebody, and then an entire year later, then we continue to date and have a second date and third date. And if you don't crash out, if you deal with rejection in a way of like, oh, okay, well, this just, obviously is not what I, working out. This is not a compatibility thing. I personally like somebody that can communicate a little bit better, or that I can text a little bit more, and, something like that. Whenever she does get back in contact with you, you do see her again, then, that's going to prompt her to go on that third date. If that's 6 months later, when it comes to dating, half the time it's just planting the idea. It's just planting the seed.
For sure. And, bro, you're just being insecure, man. That's really what it comes down to. And you just got to stop that. You got to quit, okay? You got to focus on yourself. Make sure your shit's right. And then you don't have to worry about if she's going to hit you up. She's going to be the one worrying about if you're going to hit her up. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're looking at her fucking Snapchat activity, bruh. And her snap score. Bruh. Definitely do not do that shit. Y'all got to stop being needy and stop being insecure. I feel like we're going to use these two terms quite often with these videos.
Yeah.
Because these guys are needy and insecure. Is that all of them?
That's all.
Okay, man. I think that we did pretty fucking good.
Yep.
Did you have anything else to add to that one?
No, I think I'm good.
I think that we're good, man. I think this is it. I think this is the end of the road for this episode.
Yeah, we just saved Gotham with this one, man.
We just saved Gotham and New York City.
Yeah, tens of people we just helped.
We just helped tens of people. And they're probably not going to see this. So, we probably helped at least 5.
At least 11.
At least 11.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, you guys. Well, we fucking love the hell out of you. And we're going to catch you on the next motherfucking goddamn episode.
Be easy.
Peace.